Go out there and get those corporate dollars into your pocket. But won't that make me less of an artist? Let's talk about it. Hey, welcome to Nashville Artist Development University, where we provide artists with education and resources to create a full-time music career and a healthy life around music. My name's Corey Brunson. I've been a full-time musician, performer, and recording artist for the past 20 years. If you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future releases, and check out the information at naduniversity.com in the link below. So getting corporate dollars, where do we get them? How do we get it? Should I actually do this? What is this world? Well, let's talk about that today. The corporate entertainment world, I want you to listen to this, is a $32 billion a year industry. That's the pool of money that's available for us as artists to draw from. And you can make a lot of money in that world. But sometimes artists are resistant to that for a few reasons. Let's unpack some of those, okay? The number one thing I hear from artists: should I even be really doing corporate shows? I mean, that just seems like so cheesy and like I'm selling out, and I want to be an artist. That's what I want to do. Well, let me share a few stories with you. I've done a lot of corporate events over the years, and you need to not be afraid of these. In fact, you need to welcome this into your life. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why. Hang with me, okay? One, you get fed really well. Usually you get fed what everyone else is getting fed. So not unusual to get a nice piece of salmon, steak dinner, green room, bottled water. If you're in the corporate world, they treat you really, really nice. So if you're out slugging it away night after night in the clubs, you need to stop doing that unless you need the stage time and you're not quite ready for the corporate world yet. But if you're ready, you need to be in this world. It's so much better. The sound people are usually much nicer because they're running a business and they want to keep the client happy, and they don't want you going to the client saying that they're bad. They'll lose business. So if you deal with sound people that aren't that great in the clubs, in the corporate world, typically much better. Not always, but typically your food's better, your break room's better. I'm going to give you another reason. You know what time you usually end a corporate show? About 10 p.m., maybe 11. It's wonderful to get home from a gig the same day that you left instead of at 2 in the morning. It's really great. I'm going to tell you a story about the biggest reason why you should be doing corporate events. And the biggest reason is the biggest stars in the world do corporate shows. We've shared a dressing room with Blake Shelton, Darius Rucker. I know a drummer I worked with. He used to play with the guys from Creedence Clearwater Revival from way back in the day. These are all shows that they were doing for corporate events, car companies, these big business entities that are out there like that. They all do it. John Bon Jovi just did a corporate event for, I think it was a real estate, maybe Remax or for, I don't know who it was. It just means that they're in the business. They probably get paid very well for doing that. I hope they do. But you can get paid very well for doing these same corporate shows, probably not as much as those artists do. But if they can do it and they're legitimate artists, why can't you? You have to dispel this idea that doing corporate events is somehow a bad thing, or selling out, or doesn't make you an artist. If these big artists can do it, you can too. I love doing corporate events. They pay really good. The environment's much nicer. You're usually spoken to in a very respectful manner. You get a great meal and you get to get home before midnight. What's not to love? Here's another objection I've heard about corporate events, or a fear maybe. Won't the guy, the record label, the management company, even my friends and family, won't they think less of me as an artist if I'm out doing corporate events, selling out like that? No, no, no. That is not true. I don't know what the people in your life will think. Who knows? Other artists might put you down or give you a hard time for it. But if you're thinking about a record label, a management company, or anybody that may want to work with you in the industry, think about it. Put yourself in the other role. Let's say you're out looking for an artist to work with. You've got one artist that's slugging away in the bars, doing okay, sings good, decent songs. And you've got another artist that has built a business and is creating $250,000 of annual revenue already flowing into this artist because they're out doing corporate events and having that experience with these companies. I, as a business person, am going to be way more attracted to working with this person that has something on the ball, right? These record labels, management companies, they're going to look at you and go, wow, that artist, she really knows what she's doing. Look what she's built. Look what she's done, right? Or look what he's created out of all this business. They're a real business person and they can sing and play great. So they actually think it's very cool and it's very attractive to them if you are working in the corporate markets and making these revenues and running a business. They love that. So put that thought out of your head. Okay, Corey, great. You've convinced me. I already get it. We should be doing corporate events. How? How do I get into that world? I have no idea what I should be doing. Let's go through that step by step. Step number one, serve the market. Okay. This is not you being an artist. This is you being an entertainer. So, whatever the market is willing to pay for, you should be able to go out there and sell and make money doing it, right? We all want to just sing for a living and make music for a living. This is a way to do that. If you're going to sing covers to a bunch of people in a bar for $100 a night, why not sing covers to a bunch of drunk people in a hotel ballroom for $1,000 a night? Hey man, I know which one I'd rather be doing if I was you. So serve the market. If they want a certain type of product and you're able to deliver it, do it. So speaking of if you're able to deliver it, the second thing is do what you're good at. Do what you're capable of. Don't go too far outside of your giftings. In my company, we have 9 different products that we can provide for the customer, but we can pull off every one of those genres legitimately, okay? I am very careful not to move out of my giftings and talents into something that the market may want to buy, but I just can't deliver. It's better for me to just stay within what I'm able to do. And for you, that may be just 1 or 2 genres. It may be multiple genres like we do, but we can pull those off. And I use a lot of talented musicians to create those products with. But you will do yourself a disservice if you go too far, spread yourself too thin. So don't be so myopic as an artist, point number one, that you're not willing to flex and be an entertainer, but don't be so flexible that you're willing to just do anything, even if it's outside of your giftings, because you'll ultimately ruin your reputation. Find a balance between providing every product you can and selling everything that you're able to, and learning when to stop and say, I'm really not able to do that. Maybe find a band that's better at it. Number 3, create an incredible EPK, electronic press kit. Most of that has to do with your marketing promotional video. That's 95% of it, okay? A song list is good, a photograph is good, some of these things that you need. But you need a great EPK. There is so much to that. There's no way I can go through all those details in this video. That's why we have naduniversity.com. There's a lot of videos in those pillars, in those series, about creating an EPK. Okay, you need to learn how to do that and do it right. And there is a right way to do it. You should not be spending thousands of dollars creating a promotional video. Okay, I think the business and revenue pillar is great for that. The branding pillar is great for that. So look at those and go through that. It'll really help you. So another thing you need to do to get all this done, if you've got your EPK done, you've kind of got all this in place, you need to have a business. You need to have your business structure in place. You can have a great EPK video, but if you don't have the W-9s available, or sometimes even the liability policy in place, or some of these things that these corporations and companies need in order to work with you, they can't work with you. It's not that they don't want to, they physically can't do it. So you have to make sure that when you come to the table, your promotion is in place. Most artists forget to put their business structure in place. I'm going to give you the hard sell on this right now. You need, if you haven't, you probably need to go through the business and revenue pillar at naduniversity.com and get your business in order. If you don't do that, if it's in order right now and you have everything and it's already operating, wonderful. If not, you need to go through that. It's not going to cost you much money, but it's really important for your future success to have a well-run, organized business. Some of you are not naturally built for that. Most of us aren't, especially if we're artists. That's why you need the help and the resources and the education of how to do that in today's world. So I hope that you do that, but you have to do the work that's on there. You can't just watch the videos. You actually have to do it. Okay, so once you have all that in place, number 4, what do you need to do? Get out there, and artists are not great at this. You need to get out there and sell, 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 sell. I can't tell you how many artists I've talked to, and they come back to me and go, I've got these great videos, and I've got this in place, and I'm trying, and I'm not making any money. I'm not getting any shows. I don't know what to do. And I go, how many emails did you send last week of prospective clients? How many phone calls did you make to prospective booking agencies? They go, none. Well, you're just alone in a desert. No one's going to know you're there. You have to sell. You have to get out there and send those emails, send those and approach those clients. Again, I'm going to hit you again with this. On the business and revenue pillar, we have a very detailed approach of how to find clients, Approach them the right way to email, the wrong way to email, how to get your EPK into the hands of the right people and get them to pay attention to you and get them to hire you. The good news is once you find one or two or three good sized booking agents that will connect you up with corporate clients, once they work with you one time and you create trust, they will come back again and again and again. And then things start really rolling. You're making a lot of money as a musician. Okay. So sell, sell, sell. Boy, this is the part people struggle with, but this business and revenue pillar will really help you cut out a lot of the pain of doing it wrong. So at least the work that you're doing is still hard work, but you're doing it the right way. Okay, let me wrap up. I want to talk about the ratchet effect. Okay. Think about this, because a lot of you guys are watching this and going, hey man, that's all great. I don't want to be a cover singer. I'm an artist. I want to be a successful, or I didn't get into this thing to sing covers for people all the time. I get it. I really do. Think about it this way. If you're struggling, you're not making any money, you're playing in the clubs, ultimately that's going to fizzle out. You're going to get to a point. I've seen it happen hundreds and hundreds of times. You're going to hit the wall, whether you get married, start having kids, life happens, different things, and you're going to hit the wall of, I can't keep doing this night after. I can't keep it up. My life will not allow me. And you're going to hit that moment of decision where somebody says, look, you got to decide if you want to keep going down this road or if you're going to finally give this thing up and move into a normal life. To me, that thought was so painful of not being a full-time musician and not living my dream. I would do anything. I decided I would do anything not to do that. And so I was willing to just get out there and do whatever I had to do to make money and continue on with this career. And so I did. So I ended up into the corporate world and marrying that together, listen to me close, with my artistic career. So if you're one of those people that's like, I want a career, I want to release music, I want to be an artist, let's talk about the ratcheting effect. Instead of hitting the wall, making $100 a night, $300 a night at a bar forever, instead of doing 150 shows a year, do 70 shows a year and double your income. How? By changing from a bar world into a corporate world. What do you have time to do when you're not doing 150 shows a year and you're doing 70 shows a year? You have time to work on your music, to work on your art. What else do you have? You have twice the money. What can you do with money? You can record more of your music and invest into more of your release campaigns. So the ratcheting effect is, think of these two ratchets up here, pulling these things up. This is your corporate entertainment world. This is your artistic original world. You make a bunch of money in the corporate world, you can invest that into your art. You have more time because you're not playing bars so often. You've got more money. All of a sudden, that's helping grow your original career. Now, all of a sudden, your originals are starting to gain some momentum, and you're getting on the charts. Maybe just down next to top 100, but you're next to these big name artists, right? Now you can use that to promote yourself in the corporate world, make more money because you're more valuable because you're charting. Now we can have you at our event, and wow, you charted next to this big name artist. Let's pay them whatever they want, and you're getting better at that world, and you make more money here. Put that into your original. Your original keeps growing, feeds back, and adds perceived value to your corporate entity. The two can actually complement and feed one another. Do you see how that's possible? Most artists are thinking it completely backwards. Right? The corporate world's going to damage my reputation, and my original world is going to not enable me to have the time to do my no. They will feed one another if you operate it that way. So the ratcheting effect can actually, the corporate world with the ratcheting effect can actually feed your artistic world and allow you to stay in the game longer because you're making enough money where you don't hit that wall anymore. It removes that wall. You can keep going and be an original artist longer, and good things happen. And then, just like I've been able to do it the last 20 years, all of a sudden you're flying around the world and you're playing your song in front of stadiums, and you're meeting these amazing, incredible people just from your original work and the things that you're doing as an artist. That's the dream. That's what you wanted to do in the first place. But the corporate world was this wonderful place where you can exist, make good money, have a good schedule, work less, get a great steak dinner, and feed into your artistic world. I hope that that's connecting some of those dots for you and dispelling the myths that people have, these weird ideas of people who haven't worked in the corporate world of how it can be damaging to you and, be horrible for your career. It's the opposite. Remember, I've done so many events with all these big time stars. They all do corporate events for the same reasons. You should be doing them too. So there's a lot to this. If you need help, naduniversity.com. We have resources and guidance and all the way down to the micro details on how to do all of this stuff. And I hope you'll make use of that. Okay. If this is helpful for you to hear and there's someone else that needs to hear that, hit the share button, send this off to somebody else that might need to hear this information, and let's go down the road less traveled together.